Lumpur, Putrajaya, Selangor and Sabah placed under CMCO again. 563 COVID-19 cases today as active cases breach 5,000 mark. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. You're watching News at 10 with me, Mohammed Amin Carlos. Well, Kuala Lumpur, Putrajaya, Selangor and Sabah are placed under Conditional Movement Control Order, the CMCO, for 2 weeks. For Kuala Lumpur, Putrajaya and Selangor, the CMCO will come into effect starting 12:01 midnight on 14 October. According to Senior Minister for Security, Dato' Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob, the decision to reimpose the CMCO was made after obtaining recommendations from the Health Ministry following the rise in positive COVID-19 cases reported in several localities such as Klang, Petaling and Gombak.
Antara aktiviti yang dilarang seperti juga di tempat-tempat lain ialah pergerakan keluar masuk merentas daerah tidak dibenarkan kecuali bagi mereka yang mempunyai pekerjaan di luar daerah yang perlu menunjukkan pas kerja atau surat kebenaran daripada majikan, dan hanya 2 orang saja yang boleh keluar daripada rumah untuk membeli keperluan barang makanan, iaitu dan juga perkara yang berkaitan dengan keperluan lain. Semua aktiviti sosial, aktiviti pendidikan, aktiviti agama, majlis-majlis sosial tidak dibenarkan, iaitu sekolah, IPT, tadika, taska, pusat tahfiz, taman awam dan pusat rekreasi adalah ditutup.
However, the senior minister said all economic activities are permitted to operate as usual. He added that more detailed SOPs will be announced by the National Security Council in the near future. Meanwhile, for Sabah, Dato' Seri Ismail Sabri said the CMCO will come into force at midnight until 26 October.
Seperti juga SOP PKPB yang lain, antaranya adalah menyekat pergerakan keluar masuk rentas daerah, seperti juga baru-baru ini tiada rentas daerah. Bagaimanapun, seperti yang saya sebutkan, pekerja-pekerja yang perlu merentas daerah perlulah menunjukkan pas kerja dan surat kebenaran daripada majikan. Begitu juga kemasukan masuk dan keluar kenderaan-kenderaan yang membawa keperluan asas juga dibenarkan. Walaupun perlu mereka membuat permohonan dan laporan dan permohonan kepada pihak PDRM.
Under the CMCO, he said business hours for eateries, markets, petrol stations, pharmacies and essential goods stores in the state would also be limited to between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. He added that government clinics and hospitals will be open for 24 hours while pharmacies and medicine stores can only operate from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. The senior minister also said that the detailed SOP on Sabah's CMCO could be referred to at the NSC's official web portal. Well, beginning today, all religious school sessions under the jurisdiction of Jabatan Agama Islam Selangor, JAIS, in the Petaling district are postponed for 2 weeks. JAIS Director Muhammad Shah Zihan Ahmad, in a statement, said the decision was made following an increasing number of COVID-19 cases reported in the district. Well, he explained that the postponement will remain in force until stated otherwise. Well, for the duration until 25th October, principals, headmasters and head teachers are to conduct teaching and learning from home as best as they can. The statement also said JAIS is constantly monitoring the situation in Selangor and working closely with the National Security Council, MKN, the Ministry of Health, MOH, as well as the Ministry of Education, MOE. Meanwhile, in a separate statement, JAIS also decided to postpone the wedding of couples in the Klang and Kapar districts scheduled at the Pejabat Agama Islam Daerah Klang starting today. Its director explained that this decision involves all wedding appointments made before or on 7th October. This following the postponement of all mosques and prayer rooms activities starting 7th October due to the implementation of the CMCO in Klang last Friday. All marriage appointments are to be rescheduled and will be updated periodically. Well, the number of new COVID-19 positive cases in Malaysia today remained at 3 digits with 563 cases reported, while 2 deaths were also reported over the past 24 hours, bringing the death toll in the country to 159. Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah said of the 563, only one was an imported case involving a local returnee from Indonesia. Well, he said this brings the total number of active cases to 5,039. According to the Health DG, Sabah still reported the highest number of cases by state, with 291 cases today due to high volume of screenings conducted in airports and the implementation of EMCO at certain parts of the state.
Daripada 563 kes yang dilaporkan pada hari ini, Sabah masih mencatat jumlah kes harian tertinggi, iaitu 291 kes. Namun ianya rendah berbanding semalam, iaitu 488 kes. Pulau Pinang pula mencatatkan lonjakan jumlah kes positif, iaitu sebanyak 141 kes. Pun begitu, kesemua kes adalah daripada kluster penjara Reman, di mana semua kes ini sememangnya terasing daripada masyarakat, iaitu di dalam komuniti penjara.
Selangor recorded 69 cases, followed by Kuala Lumpur 27, Negeri Sembilan 12, Kedah 10, and Perak 4. Meanwhile, Johor, Putrajaya and Labuan reported 2 cases each, while Sarawak and Melaka 1 each. Well, meanwhile, 6 new clusters have been identified today in Kuala Lumpur, Sabah, Selangor, Johor and Putrajaya. Now, the new clusters are Baiduri and Bah Perdana clusters in Kuala Lumpur, the Kolong cluster in Sabah, Bah Tropicana cluster in Selangor, Renting cluster in Johor and Bah Kasturi cluster in Putrajaya. The new clusters collectively have 75 active cases between them. According to Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham, the Baiduri cluster involved the districts of Hulu Langat, Selangor and Cheras, Kuala Lumpur, where the index case was found to be positive COVID-19 after a pre-surgery screening on 7 October. He said a total of 39 individuals have been screened, in which 17 tested positive, 12 tested negative, while 9 others are still waiting for results. The Bah Perdana cluster, the Health DG said, was detected in Cheras, in which the index case of this cluster was identified from a Sabah COVID-19 high-risk screening. 8 others were also tested positive from this cluster. As for the Bah Tropicana cluster in Petaling, Selangor, it involved an index case who tested positive for the virus during a high-risk area screening in Sabah on October 2nd. Close contact screenings has also detected 13 others positive for the virus.
Kluster Kolong di Sabah, kluster baru ini dikenal pasti di daerah Keningau, Sabah. Kes indeks bagi kluster ini iaitu kes ke-13,548 telah dikenal pasti positif COVID-19 hasil saringan dalam komuniti pada 7 Oktober 2020 dan telah dimasukkan ke Hospital Lahad Datu. Saringan kontak rapat telah mengenal pasti 7 lagi kes positif COVID-19.
The Renting cluster, Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham said, was detected in Central Melaka and in Johor Bahru. The index case in this cluster was identified during a workplace screening on 7 October and the patient has been admitted to the Melaka hospital. He said 7 other people were also tested positive from this cluster. The Health DG said the Kasturi cluster was detected in Seremban, Cheras, Putrajaya, Klang, Petaling, Hulu Langat, Gombak and Kuala Langat. Screening on close contact has detected 17 others positive for COVID-19. The Ministry of Health has submitted an application to the Public Service Department and Finance Ministry to appoint 1,899 health personnel on contract. Minister Dato Sri Dr. Adham Baba said the request was submitted on 9th October in line with the government's approval under the Prihatin Economic Stimulus Package for the Health Ministry to increase the number of medical officers on a contract basis. Well, in a statement today, the minister said among the additional health personnel sought are research officers, nurses, assistant medical officers, environmental health assistants, medical health technologists, and administrative assistants. Well, he said these additional medical officers will be placed at health facilities such as clinics, hospitals, laboratories, district health officers, as well as Crisis Preparedness and Response Center, or CPRC. They will also be deployed at quarantine centers nationwide and countries' entry points such as Kuala Lumpur International Airport to ensure that access can be managed more smoothly and efficiently. Dato Sri Dr. Adham said the ministry had earlier beefed up efforts to manage the increasing numbers of COVID-19 cases, adding that several measures had been taken, such as mobilizing medical personnel to states and facilities low in resources. The prosecution in former Penang Chief Minister Lim Guan Eng's corruption case involving the Penang Undersea Tunnel project will amend 2 out of 4 charges made against him. Deputy Public Prosecutor Wan Shaharuddin Wan Ladin told Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court Judge Azura Alwi that the amendments would be submitted to the court on 28 October, which is the next mentioned date during Lim's presence. Well, the judge also allowed Wan Shaharuddin's application for the trial dates to be decided on the same day. While earlier, Judge Azura also allowed an application by Lim's lawyer, Gobind Singh Deo, for his client to be exempted from today's proceeding, as Lim had to attend the Penang State Assembly sitting. Well, on 7th August, Lim's 60 pleaded not guilty to a charge with soliciting gratification to help a company to secure the Penang Undersea Tunnel project. Well, he was charged in his capacity as the Chief Minister of Penang then to have corruptly solicited gratification for himself as an inducement for helping the company to secure the Penang Undersea Tunnel project. He is alleged to have sought 10% of the profit to be made by the company from Dato Zarul Ahmad Muhammad Zulkifli, who is the director at Consortium Zenith Construction Sdn and Berhad. Well, Lim was alleged to have committed the offence in March 2011. The charge was framed under Section 16, Subsection A of the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission Act 2009 and punishable under Section 24 of the same Act, which provides imprisonment for up to 20 years and a fine of not less than 5 times the value of the gratification, or 10,000 ringgit, whichever is higher, upon conviction. The police have confirmed they will be calling in PKR President Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim to record his statement over the viral list of 121 members of parliament or MPs claimed to be supporting him as the next Prime Minister. Criminal Investigation Department Director Dato Huzair Mohammed said the investigation began after UMNO's Jarantut MP Dato Ahmad Nazlan Idris lodged a police report on Friday over the matter. Well, in a statement today, Dato Huzair said Dato Sri Anwar was initially meant to present himself to Bukit Aman at 11 a.m. today to have his statement recorded. However, his private secretary said Dato Sri Anwar will only be able to come tomorrow at 9 a.m. The statement said the police have postponed the meeting to another date, which will be announced in the near future. So far, a total of 6 police reports have been lodged since, and the case in being investigated under Section 505B of the Penal Code and Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act 1998. An elderly man was killed in a fire involving 2 houses in Teluk Intan, Perak. And according to Teluk Intan Fire and Rescue Station Chief Muhammad Ismail Muhammad Yunus, the victim, Tan Ah Lang, alias Tan Ah Leng, age 78, was believed to have been trapped in the house during the incident, while his charred body was found by firefighters on a bed in one of the said houses. Muhammad Ismail said they received a distress call at 4:42 a.m. this morning before a team from the Teluk Intan and Hutang Melintang stations, assisted by personnel from the Teluk Intan Volunteer Fire Brigade, were deployed to the location. Well, the body was found at 6:30 a.m. at a central part of one of the houses, and the body was later handed over to the police. Muhammad Ismail said the cause of the fire and estimated losses are still being investigated. 1.8 billion ringgit cybersecurity strategy to boost national cybersecurity preparedness. Well, Dato' Amiruddin Abdul Sattar has been appointed as Federal Land Development Authority of FELDA new Director General effective 15th October. Well, he will be taking over from Dato' Dr. Othman Omar, who has ended his service on 30th September. Well, in a statement today, FELDA's Corporate Communications Unit said Dato' Amiruddin has 31 years of experience in finance and business and holds a Master of Business Administration degree from the University of Reading's Henley Business School, United Kingdom. Well, it said most of his corporate career was with KPJ Healthcare Berhad as President and Managing Director. The statement said FELDA is confident that Dato' Amiruddin will bring continuity to FELDA's recovery and transformation efforts. The Malaysia Cybersecurity Strategy, or MCSS 2020-2024, with an allocation of 1.8 billion ringgit, has been launched today to step up national cybersecurity preparedness. Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin said the Communications and Multimedia Ministry, that's KKMM, and the National Cybersecurity Agency would be tasked with formulating, implementing, monitoring and coordinating the medium-term action plan. The Prime Minister said the strategy was drafted based on 5 pillars encompassing 12 strategies, 35 action plans and 113 programs, as the thrust of the cybersecurity mechanism is to face any forms of cyber attacks. In his speech, which was read by Communications and Multimedia Minister Dato' Saifuddin Abdullah, the Premier said the first pillar was to enhance the management of national governance and cybersecurity by improving the country's critical ICT infrastructure as well as raising the ability to deal with cybersecurity issues effectively. In this regard, the National Cybersecurity Committee has been established and led by Senior Minister for Security, Dato' Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob. Other pillars include strengthening the enforcement of existing cyber law, empowering innovation and world standard technology in cybersecurity, improving development capacity as well as cybersecurity, skilled manpower, and finally enhancing international cooperation to protect national cyberspace.
Soal keselamatan cyber akan terus menjadi keutamaan dalam agenda pertahanan dan keselamatan negara. Kerajaan memandang serius terhadap isu penggodaman cyber di dalam dan luar negeri. Misalnya, risiko kecurian maklumat syarikat dan pribadi dari sistem pengkalan data yang sedia ada. Justru adalah penting untuk kita merencana dan merangka strategi yang kukuh dalam usaha mempertahankan keselamatan cyber.
The Prime Minister also described initiatives in form of active cyber defense as timely, especially following the increasing number of cyber crimes during the COVID-19 pandemic. He said during the Movement Control Order period, the National Cyber Coordination and Command Center, NC4, had succeeded in detecting and containing several cyber attacks on certain agencies. Flight company Malindo Air advises the public to be wary of the fake online flight ticket platform FlyMalindoAirways.com. Malindo, in a statement, explained that the FlyMalindoAirways.com website sells flight tickets through a suspicious payment portal which is not registered under the company system. But all purchasing details through the said fake website were also not recorded in the database of Malindo. And the company has lodged a police report and an official complaint to MyCert regarding the fake website. Malindo Air has reminded the public to ensure that all flight ticket purchases are done through the official website or through a registered travel agency online. Any inquiries can be made by contacting Malindo Air on their social media platforms or their customer service line if they have any suspicion about any false portal using the name of Malindo Air. Killed, over a dozen missing in Vietnam floods. That and more coming up in our foreign segment. Alves was the toast of Kedah last night when he delivered the winning goal to beat Perak 3-2 and clinch the Super League runners-up spot while confirming Kedah's berth to the 2021 Asian Football Confederation AFC Cup Championship. Well, it was a sweet victory for Kedah, who rose to garner 5 wins in 6 matches as a surprise runners-up after being stranded in the 7th spot when competition was postponed in March following the COVID-19 pandemic. In the game at Perak Stadium last night, the visitors opened the score via Kepa Sherman in the 28th minute before Mohammad Fazrul Daniel Mohammad Nizam put Kedah comfortably ahead with a 2-0 lead 3 minutes later. However, Perak bounced back to net 2 goals at the end of the first half after Leandro Dos Santos calmly converted a penalty in the 42nd minute before heading in the equaliser during injury time. The winning goal of the squad under Aidil Shahrin Sahag in the second half was through an Alves header, who was quick to find the right spot from a corner kick by Badrul Bakhtiar and confirmed the AFC Cup ticket for Kedah. With the defeat at home, Perak met another misfortune when their 3rd placing in the league was overtaken by Terengganu FC or TFC, who came back from 1 goal down to beat Pahang 2-1 at Sultan Mizan Zainal Abidin Stadium. Midfielder Nik Muhammad Sharif Hazefi Muhammad Lazim had put Pahang in the lead through a shot outside the penalty box in the 12th minute, but 4 minutes later, TFC equalised via a penalty by Dominic Da Silva. Team captain Lee Tuck emerged as the hero of the Turtles when he pushed in a cross from a teammate in the 82nd minute for TFC to close the curtain for the season with 6 wins from 11 matches with 19 points. In this regard, a postponed match between Sabah and Universiti Teknologi Mara UiTM will be the closing game for the Super League season. Time we have this evening in our top story, Kuala Lumpur, Putrajaya, Selangor and Sabah place under CMCO again. To join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon, I'm Muhammad Amin Carlos, and stay tuned to Saluran Berita RTM and have a pleasant evening. Take care. Remaining.